I bought this watercolor paint set by Artistro online off of Amazon for myself as a little gift on Black Friday, and I wanted to go ahead and open it up and see how it works. A friend of mine told me about this set. It has this nice little paper pad that you can try out with it, so that's kind of cool. It looks like it comes with a couple of sheets of paper that are 140-pound watercolor paper. And then it has this nice set of paint. It comes in a tin, so I can just open it up. And inside I have some tools that I can use, a little card that I can test the colors out on, and a list of all of the colors as well. It even comes with this cute little decal sticker. I am creative. What's your superpower? So that's cute. I'll have to find somewhere to put that. And then here's all the colors that are included in the kit. And the reason my friend told me about this is because it has neon and metallic colors. And that's kind of fun to have a little watercolor set that includes all of those. It also is nice and small and compact, which makes it good for traveling. So you can see here, I'm testing out the colors on the little watercolor paper that they provide. You don't have to do this, but it's just kind of fun to see how the colors actually paint. So I am just going color by color, rinsing my brush in between, and getting a little bit of paint into each of these little sections to see exactly how they look. You can use this little card or the other one as a reference for when you are painting. I decided to use the little paper that they gave me to test out some of the colors. I'm using the brush that is included in the kit too to paint some watercolor trees. I don't know what it is about these evergreen trees, but I just love to paint them in watercolor. So I'm going to do a little test on this paper to see how it works. I'm starting off with this nice cool green color. It's like a viridian green, and I am going to do a nice watery line of trees first so that they look like they're kind of off in the distance. As you can see with each tree that I do, it kind of helps to start off with the line that you're going to do as the center trunk of the tree first, and then to kind of go in and add some of the branches around that line. You can see also that I added a little bit of blue while my trees are still wet. I find that when they're wet, it's kind of fun to add some other colors in. I tend to go for the blues because I'm a big fan of like the blue-green turquoisey colors. It's my favorite color. So I tend to lean that way when painting. As I'm going across my paper, I'm also making sure to space out my trees so that they are not all the same distance apart. And you can see too that they are different heights. So I like to kind of cluster them in groups and try to leave some space in between each group. That makes it look a little bit more natural. And then try to have some that are really tall and others that aren't quite so tall. So just to kind of vary the heights. And you can see as I get lower down with these trees that I am not going all the way down to the bottom, and they're just kind of fading off because a lot of this bottom section will get covered anyway with darker trees in the foreground. So I'm not worried too much about the details there. I let my first layer dry, and now I'm going to go back in with a little bit of a darker shade of green. I'm using a little bit more paint and a little bit less water as well to make sure that I have a darker value that is coming in front of my trees. That brings my tree that I'm painting right now forward, and it puts my other trees farther back in the distance. The darker values come forward and the lighter values tend to go backward. So these dark, bright trees are going to look like they are closer to us than the ones behind them. And in the same way that I kind of spaced out my other trees, I'm doing the same for my darker trees as well. Although this time I'm paying attention to the trees behind them. I'm almost trying to look for little windows or gaps between the trees to kind of fill in with my darker trees, although it doesn't always work out that well. I don't know what it is about painting these, but I find it super relaxing. I could just paint these little trees all day. Lots of layers. I find them super calming and fun to do. I'm going to continue all the way across my paper here until I have a nice row of medium valued trees, and then I hope to do yet another layer in front of these with a dark value so that I have another layer in front and add yet even more depth to my little painting here. All right, now I'm going in with a super dark color. This is almost a straight black. It's like a dark green. If you don't have this many colors, you could always just mix green with some black or with maybe a purple. I like to mix green and purple, green and blue and purple to get darker shades. But these trees are going to be kind of in the front and closest to us, so they will be the darkest. And just like I did before, I'm still adding some lines first and then filling them in with the little branches. I try to make my branches a little different, a little random. I'm using a tiny brush, but trying not to get too overly detailed, just kind of keep it light. At this point, I'm just trying to make sure that it looks full enough. It's not too sparse in areas. I want to make sure that I have a nice filling in between, that I've got a nice variety of the heights of my trees and the distance between, that it looks like a believable scene. I think a lot of these are too similar in height, so I want to go ahead and maybe make some of them a little bit taller and a little bit thicker. So you can just kind of play around with it until you get something that you are happy with. And there you have my little practice painting using my new Artistro watercolor set.